So just a quick note on maize production. We know how challenging it is for small-scale farmers to produce. In Zambia, a big portion of the maize that we eat in Zambia comes from small-scale farmers. But nevertheless, there's been consistent low productivity among them. For example, you find a variety such as the ZMS 721 that is able to give you up to 12 to 14 tons per hectare. For a small scale farmer, that same variety will give them maybe 3 tons per hectare, or at most maybe 4 tons per hectare. So really, where's the problem? Why are our small scale farmers failing to produce compared to commercial farmers? One of the major things I would say to answer that question is late land preparation, which leads to late planting. So ideally, you find the rain season in Zambia, particularly in the north where I'm based, starts mid-November, but you find our farmers will start land preparation in December when it has already rained a few weeks. Then to add to that, farmers are not mechanized, so they depend on hand hoes. So for one to do a 1 hectare field, it will take even 3 weeks. Then the planting again will be late. Already they are losing out. Then also there's no proper thorough land preparation. The tilth won't be fine because there's nothing like harrowing. So that one also affects germination. Then also limits productivity. Another thing to take note of, which is very important, perhaps the most important thing, is weed control. Our farmers struggle a lot to control these weeds manually. Most of them depend on hand hoes for them to get rid of the weeds. They do it the manual way. So you find it, for a farmer to control the weeds in a 1 hectare field, to take them maybe 3 weeks or 2 weeks for them to clear the weeds. But it's rain season, so you find as they are clearing, where they've cleared within that period, those weeds will regenerate again. So it's very difficult, and weeds are a major factor when it comes to productivity. Any field which is choked by weeds, any field which has got a lot of weeds, automatically the production will go down. So farmers are usually advised maybe to take up technology, these new technologies that have come, and take a leaf from the book of commercial farmers who rely on herbicides when it comes to weed control. So that's one of the steps to take. Go to your agro dealer, check for a good selective herbicide which you can use in your maize field for you to control the weeds. So when you make sure you do thorough land preparation, make sure your field is clean and there are no weeds whatsoever, then those are the early steps to successful production of maize. Then apart from that, always be on the lookout for pests, particularly the fall armyworm, because it can be quite devastating if it's not controlled on time. So always do regular scouting in your field to check for pests and be on the lookout for any new pests as well as these common pests that you know. Then do an assessment. If there's a requirement for you to have a spray program for pesticide, then you can consult your extension officer. They'll guide you on that one, depending on the population density of a particular pest. They'll advise whether to spray using synthetic pesticides or maybe to employ other control measures. So pest control is number 3. So we've spoken about land preparation, we've spoken about weed control, then we've also spoken about pest control. Then another important step in maize production to ensure success is timely application of fertilizers. So if you're able to apply your basal fertilizer at planting, that's the best practice. Because as you know, basal fertilizer helps in proper root development. So it's recommended that it's applied at planting. Then for the top dressing, you can apply it 3 to 4 weeks after planting, but you have to apply it in 2 splits. The first split, you're gonna apply it in about 3 to 4 weeks after planting. Then the second split should also be applied, should be applied just before tasseling or in the early stages of tasseling. So that's number 4, timely application of fertilizer, and apply it in a correct way. By a correct way, what I mean is it's advised to apply per plant using maybe it can be banding method or any method that ensures that the fertilizer doesn't go to waste. You can make a hole next to a plant, to each individual plant, then put in your fertilizer, then bury, for you to ensure that the fertilizer isn't washed away and it doesn't go to waste. So if you do these things that I've spoken about, in summary, proper land preparation, weed control, pest control, particularly the armyworm, then proper fertilizer application on time, and split the top dressing in 2, then you're on your way to having a good yield of maize. You're on your way to having good productivity for maize. So if we can preach this to our small scale farmers as extension workers, then the future is bright, because we're gonna see a lot of maize coming, especially from the northern region. Because commercial farmers are able to produce maybe even 10 tons per hectare, which is almost impossible for a small scale farmer. So if we work on these things that I've spoken about, then our small scale farmers will also catch up and start producing. So that was just a brief note on maize production. So next time we will look at low season production of maize, particularly off-season maize, which is eaten green.